On their warm-up lap now, the Group 10 cars from 1971 to 1980. This is IMSA Camel GT cars, GTO and GTU classes, and some former Trans Am cars, and effectively the first 10 years of IMSA on display. Led by Jeff Abramson in the Chevrolet Camaro from 79, a Dekon Monza for Ken Epsman, Alan Terpins in a Porsche 935, Richard Goldsmith in a Dekon Monza from 76, and then on row 3, Martin Lauber and Ranson Webster, both in Porsches, one a K3, Cameron Healy in an RSR Carrera, and Jim Fuchs in a Ferrari 512 BBLM. And then Thor Johnson in one of the few BMWs out there, William Lyon in a Porsche RSR, and at the back, Gregory Johnson in the distinctive all-blue number 88 Chevrolet Camaro. So a really good, interesting 10 years of IMSA coming your way here from Group 10 as they get ready to go racing. And there's Jeff O'Neill. I told you he's busy. I knew he had to wave a flag, and off he goes. He waves off the final flag. What a weekend it's been for Jeff O'Neill, and I think he's quite enjoyed himself. And it's Jeff Abramson in the 1970 Chevrolet Camaro leading the way, and he did so yesterday too in this Group 10 race. He's being chased hard though by Ken Epsman, and Epsman in the 1976 Dekon Monza. Did you ever get any muscle car racing? Did you ever get a chance to
do
any big Trans Am stuff? Or?
No, never really appealed to me. But of course, at Daytona, you do encounter a lot of these sort of things. And you tended to lap them quite often. You weren't sure whether there were 10 orange Camaros or you were just going that much quicker. But on the straights, they're seriously quick, somewhere like that.
So did you just do Daytona or Sebring, or did you do?
Regrettably, I did not do Sebring. My wife raced at Sebring, and she was in the all-girl McMillan Ring-Free Oil team, and they won the prototype class. So she was on a World Championship sports car race podium before I was. And she liked to remind me about that once or twice.
Such is it, marrying into the sport as well. Now, talking of the sport, I mentioned Jeff O'Neill. He's down with Katie Emma.
Yeah, look who I found, Jonathan. He was up there with you, now he's down here. You're a busy guy this weekend, but first I want to talk about how exhilarating that was to wave the flag.
I know, I was almost more nervous waving the green flag than I was starting another race.
Now, we're right here in the action. I'm sure Jonathan talked to you about this. I just tip my cap, everyone here. This was a great weekend put on by you. How fun was this for you to experience it as a fan?
Oh, the weekend was such a blast. I mean, and so many great people brought all of their great cars out. I mean, it was so fun for me. The objective of the race was, can we get great cars out on the track and have people have a great fun time, bring in a festival atmosphere, and I think, for our first shot at it, my team was awesome that pulled it together.
I know it was great work, and great work as well timing out these cars. We're right here in the action, Jonathan. For now, Jeff, thank you for all your help, and thank you for joining us today on this fun adventure and this weekend. Jonathan, we'll send it back up to you.
Thank you, Katie.
Great stuff, Katie. Yeah, enjoy yourself down there. She's had a blast. Now, this is lead changing going on all around, and this is a good race so far. And it looks as though Ken Epsom's now taken the lead away from the Camaro, and does it in style too. So we've got a good race on here. Two big cars muscling their way around. Beautiful sound that Peerless Racing 56 makes. It's absolutely gorgeous to listen to in the pit lane. It's a bit of a monster noise, but certainly very enjoyable to listen to, that's for sure. Camaro, huge history here. They won, in fact, a Trans Am here in 68, 69. With a Roger Penske car, and of course Roger's still going strong in Indy.
He is, yes. Just had his 18th win.
18th win, amazing. Absolutely.
Ever.
I know, it's incredible.
But for a couple of very narrow second places, he would have been on number 20.
Absolutely. I was talking to Jeff earlier, and maybe you could talk on this, that that period in the late 60s and early 70s when the Americans really especially in the manufacturer point of view, started to rival the Ferraris and the you know, and so on when Ford came to the fore back in the 60s. But I think that was a really interesting time because it just sort of jumbled up the whole sort of what had been a very much a European affair up until then. Even though it involved American racers, the likes of Dan Gurney and so on and so forth. But you know, the Gurney interpretations, Jim Hall, all these guys suddenly started to have their influence, and of course people like Roger Penske even went Formula One racing.
He did, and the other guy, of course, Jim Hall drove in Formula One, and then there was Dan over there racing, and then there was Richie Ginther and Carroll Shelby driving Formula One. And so many Americans got into Formula One, and then some of them came home, like Dan and Carroll, and started building their own cars, and then, you know, Henry Ford decided to win Le Mans, and it just transformed the whole thing.
And he's done a pretty good job of bringing back that beautiful car. I just saw one of the latest GT40s that have come off the sort of specialist one. They built a new 150 of them too, and they are absolutely magnificent. And met one of the owners in Austin. And, yeah, Henry Ford IV, when I was talking about, also wanting these cars to be literally prized possessions. So this battle at the front between Jeff Abramson and Ken Epsman. Who do you know of the drivers down here?
Well, my friend Martin Lauber, I see, is currently in 4th place in his RSR Porsche.
What's his story?
75 car, exactly the same time that I raced at Le Mans. And Martin was...
Give him a few tips on the way?
Well, Martin did extremely well in the Formula One race earlier on today in the Orange March that he owns. I think he and Dr. Neck had a little swapping of places at the end there, but yeah, he drove that extremely well. I think Martin drives everything very well.
Where's he from then? You say friends?
Oh, he's a local.
Local guy?
He's a local, yeah.
In fact, I'm amazed at just how the Bay Area has got quite a conglomerate of really quite well-known racers, and certainly a collection of cars that is like no other.
Great. There are some wonderful collections around the Bay Area. Well, the Keller collection for a start.
Yes.
And that Mercedes.
Whew.
Yeah, these two are really going
They
at it, aren't
they? They're not holding back. This is
No.
great. They're weaving through the Sonoma hills at big pace, and this is going to go all the way, I fear. Well, it's the last race of the day. Why not? Heck, we had a spin as they come out of turn 10. We had a spin in the previous race,
here we go. The outbraking again.
But he's using that inside line, going over the rumble strips, because they're not that high there, so as always with racing drivers, as soon as they find that advantage, they'll take it.
Absolutely. You need to make the road as wide as possible.
So come on then, what does an ex-Formula One and sports car star drive these days? What are you sporting?
Very unsporting. I drive a CLK Mercedes.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
And I still have my wife's wonderful little Acura that she so loved. And then in England, I drive a Volvo estate car.
Ah, nothing wrong with that. Safest car in the world.
A lot of room for the golf clubs in the back.
There you go. And are you still involved? I know you've worked with FIA, you've worked, as you said, the Drivers Club. Do you still get as busy around the motor racing scene as much?
Well, I've just, a month ago, become time-expired, retired from my position as president of the Grand Prix Drivers Club. I am still a vice president of the British Racing Drivers Club. I was a director there for the statutory 9 years.
So you'll know my good friend Derek Warwick?
I do definitely know Derek, yes. Good bloke, Derek.
Yeah, he is.
Great racing career, and was a wonderful BRDC president as well.
Yeah, I used to live on Jersey, and of course that's where he's from. Him and his brother, Paul, sadly no longer with us, but Derek, great guy, and doing a really good job at Silverstone, trying to hold on to it. Are they going to hold on to it now as a BRDC member? Are they going to hold on to that Grand Prix or not?
Yeah, boy.
That's a whole glass of wine subject, right?
Well, I wish I knew.
Yeah.
The members want the Grand Prix, but the members do not want the club to go bankrupt holding the Grand Prix.
Yes.
And as things stand, we've been losing money for the last few years, so there just has to be some adjustment somewhere. And I know they're all working hard on it, Liberty and BRDC board. are working hard on it, so I hope it all comes together.
Yeah, I agree. Now let me ask you some racing questions. When you're in a battle like you just saw at the front there and here, how far ahead are you planning? Are you thinking, you know what, I saw he wasn't as quick as me through turn 5, so that's where I'm going to have a go at him? Or is it literally second by second that you're going, okay, this is my plan, I'm going to keep an eye on what his plan is, or is it that thought out?
Well, yeah, I think generally you are looking, just as you suggested, but does he have a weakness in some area of the track? And so at times you see that weakness and you'll just drop back a little bit and take a run at it and then get him. And the other thing is you find that you may be breaking even with him, but the dirty old trick is to go down the inside.
Exactly like that.
But you sometimes have to go in so fast you miss your braking point.
Yeah.
But if you're on the inside, he can't turn
It's
in,
a block
so you
pass,
got it.
yeah.
So you just bring everything to a halt and then accelerate away.
Yeah.
So there's all those little things that you can do with it.
And do you ever, I certainly when I've done a little bit of karting, do you ever fake it where you're kind of saying, okay, he thinks I'm coming here and I'm going to keep showing him this, my intention, but I'm not going to do it at all?
Yeah, well, occasionally you get a guy who will go down the inside every time, which is where you need to go. So then you've got to give him the fake down the inside, and then if you've got the momentum, drive around the outside.
Yeah. And that's no mean feat. And these two are showing a good example, and I'm just wondering now, and in this particular example, I'm guessing that the 56 has probably got overall grunt power, that is, in a straight line over Jeff Abramson in the 56, and over Ken Epsman in the number 20. And I think he'll just use that at the back of the circuit, maybe coming down the hill towards 10, and then again make his own pass. But these Porsches are pretty even.
They are, yeah, they're very even.
Martin Lauber, who you just mentioned, the man you were talking about. And here you go. Well, there you go. Down the hill he comes.
Down the hill there, yeah. So they are so even. One can get it in one place and the other in another place.
That was earlier than I expected, to be fair, on the lap, but let's see what happens now, because through the carousel and out and up towards the right-hander, and this obviously one of the major overtaking places here at Sonoma. And this is the battle for the win here in our final Group 10 race. Howden Ganley alongside me, Jonathan Green, enjoying an afternoon here in the sunshine of California. It's a little bit breezy, but better than the fog we had this morning and yesterday morning, I can assure you. Now, there's some back markers here. Now, is that another sort of indication to you about trying a plan? It's just like, okay, I've got the back markers here. Let's see if they're going to get in the way and I can do something.
Back markers can be very useful because they will maybe hold up the guy in front of you, which enables you to get a run on him. Or alternatively, if you've got someone you're trying to fend off, and you can just squeeze past the back marker as you enter the corner, he then blocks the guy that's behind you, so then you can make a little bit of a break. So you've got to use them either way. A little bit of a gap opening here now.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering if there's some damage to the front left of that, the number 56 Abramson car, because, look, no, maybe it's just my eyes are deceiving me. Good, I'm glad. I thought from that angle, it looks as though he'd missed his left front, but I think it's just the sun going down, and it's just the shape of the car.
Sounds all right.
I'm imagining things.
we are getting into tyre degradation
yes.
area now as well.
You know, I was talking to some folks today. This is quite an abrasive track, it seems, and you know, even Esteban Gutierrez was struggling a little bit in the Formula One. How did you enjoy that demo?
Yeah, it's great to have a Formula One car. What another great coup for Jeff that he's got to bring that car out here. And it's a car, for me, it's maybe not so much because I go to current Grand Prix, but
sure.
Most people do not see a modern Grand Prix car. It's a shame they don't make as much noise as they used to, but...
Yeah, what about the differentiation in speed? Because actually, people are surprised to know that actually, as we look at Greg Johnson in the number 88, I'll get back to you on this one because Katie just had a chat with Greg Johnson. Let's hear from Katie with Greg Johnson in the 88.
All right, Greg, you're the last race of the day. Yeah. I want to hear, I saw you over here, you're getting prepared. Right. What's in your mind for the last race?
Just getting quiet. I kind of go around the course in my mind. Shift points and things. just kind of relax, get in.
And as you are the last race, you're kind of reflecting this weekend. How fun was it here at the Speed
Blast.
Festival?
This is kind of different from certainly the ones we do in California. I've been doing the Sonoma race for 20 years. Totally different. Awesome. Just really, really fun. It's a fun time because all the cars are gridded together, so you get to meet the people in your group. You get to meet a lot of competitors, see what they're running, and talk with them.
Fun, but you guys are also pretty competitive out there, especially in your races.
Well, where you're buying these cars and you've got some pretty good discretionary dollars, and you've been pretty successful for a living, and that's when you get on the racetrack. You're competitive. This is you do your.
Ooh, and another touch of the grass there. That was number 88, Gregory Johnson, just giving his words before he went out to Katie there. and as if by timing was brilliant, he locks up going into the final corner there. And it's almost every time we interview somebody. I had Kevin Buckler chatting up here, and I did an interview with him, and then he spun round on the track. So the battle at the front, it's still pretty close. And I'm not sure how this is going to all pan out at the end, but it's good. Great way to finish the day. So you've been coming all 3 days. Have you enjoyed it?
I've enjoyed every minute of it. It's been absolutely wonderful. Now here we are, another down the inside.
Oh, and he's almost a little too Larry there.
Yeah.
He's lucky to have saved that, actually, because he got out of shape.
He held it very well.
And he just notches back into the lead now. So let me put you in second place then, Howden. How do you play this? You've been watching this for a couple of minutes then. How do you get past him?
Well, when you come down to 11 on the last, he's going to be expecting you, so that'll be a difficult one. So you need to catch him probably about up near the top of the hill there, and then you block him.
Yep.
When you come down to block him when you come down.
Well, I
to
notice
11.
there's a car just in front of him. Here we go.
Yeah,
that might
so
be something you can use.
It might be useful to one or the other of them.
Back down the hill they come, and it's the
Oh,
BMW. That's no slouch either. The Schnitzer BMW, beautifully painted. And I think he did unsight him a little bit, and sadly he's gone off. But please come back! Don't go too far.
Oh, that's a shame. He was being so kind, getting out of the way, and then disadvantaged himself. Oh, he's managing to keep.
He's going
Here we
well.
go.
It's all going on here.
Right.
I love it.
Okay, so now if I was number 20, I'd figure, right, I've done that, I got in front, now I've just got to make sure that he doesn't outbrake me when we get to 11.
You know, in a weird way, he was trying to give them room.
He was.
He saw them in his mirrors, he got out the way and then just got onto the dirt. So I don't want to overly blame them.
No, not at all, no. But he's probably watching in the mirror to make sure he doesn't upset their race.
And then went a little too wide, got onto the dirt, and that was it.
Right, so here we are.
But he kept his foot in, and
Yeah,
that's why he ended up at the top of the hill. Love it. So then we're winding down our first ever Sonoma Speed Festival here. And it looks as though we're going to have a battle to the line between these two in the closing stages. And this is Ken Epsman I'm talking about in the number 20, leading the way at the moment. The Budweiser sponsored number 20. A beautiful car. And at the moment he's being chased hard by Jeff Abramson in the number 56 in the Camaro.
It's probably aerodynamically a better car because it's got the wing and it's got a fairly wedgy nose.
But it's been so close that these two have been going at it. Right now, the Camaro just sort of drifting off a little bit, but I think he's got the power to catch him where he wants to. So I think he only wants to do it once and then make it stick.
That's the thing. You've got to do it once. Don't be having to do it a second time.
Yeah, don't waste your time. But certainly, Ken's doing a good job of pulling away. So Group 10 coming to an end. And what has been a cracking battle between these two. The Chevrolet Camaro from 1970 20. Ken Abramson in the Dekon Monza. What's a Dekon Monza?
I assume that was was it some sort of a sponsor?
Yeah, I gotta say, or the
It's not a deconstructed Monza.
no. So here we come towards the end of this one. These two have battled it out throughout the race. Wind picking up now. And this is the final lap. And now I think that Camaro is going to get the hurry up. I think everybody wants to win the final race here at the festival, don't you?
Be a nice thing to do. Yeah. The last man to take the checkered flag. Here's another back marker.
Yeah, so they've got to be careful. And incidentally, it's 1970 versus 1976. Now, let's see where the 87 either gets out of the way or stays on his line. Will he see them, I wonder?
Just unlucky. No, they're okay.
No, he's got through.
He's made room. Hope he doesn't go off as well. No, he's all right.
He's okay. Down the hill they come then. Here we go. Time running out in our final race. It's been a wonderful weekend. Over 200 cars, some priceless, some, well, they're all priceless, quite frankly. Depends who you are. But as Jeff made a point, and here he comes. This is the run, and he's got him. Side by side, these two are going to go to the line. Here we go for the last part of this race. And back into the lead goes the Camaro of Jeff Abramson. 1970 Camaro. And there's really one more chance now for the Monza to make his move in the number 20. And that'll be into the final turn at turn 11. Here it is. We're waiting for them to come down. A final lap of this Sonoma Speed Festival.
Down
and it ends with a picture book, does it? Yes, he's got him. Can the Camaro come back? He takes a nice tight line. It's going to be nip and tuck as we come to the line. Neck and neck as they head towards the final checkered flag of the day. Who's going to take it? Oh, it's so close. And it's Ken Abramson who takes the victory. Brilliantly done in the Dekon Monza, beating the Camaro. What a way to finish the first ever Sonoma Speed Festival. My thanks to Howden Ganley. So delighted to bump into you. I didn't expect to see you here, but great to have you. And you'll have to join me next year.
Well, love to, yeah. Yeah.
Simple as that.
Oh, yeah, a wonderful race to finish the day, finish the weekend.
So, checkered flag for all of them out there. Richard Goldsmith, we didn't get a chance to really see him in action because we were focusing, of course, on the battle at the front. Alan Terpins taking 4th place, and your friend Martin Lauber taking 5th.
Yeah, good job.
So, what should they do better or worse or whatever the next year, or you think they've got it right?
I think the format is exactly right. I'm sure, as Jeff said, you know, he's got a list of a few suggestions from people. But, yeah, they build on what they've created here. It's wonderful. Another thing that was Jeff again, waving the green flag.
Waving the green flag. We're just looking at some highlights now of Group 2. Go on.
I was going to say it's so much nicer that they've done the grass and the picket fences and the feeding, because then you can bring the family.
Yes.
Because wife doesn't want to bring the kids to a whole bunch of big, huge area of tarmac, does she?
No, absolutely
all
not.
Stinking hot. And so it's got all those nice little areas.
Nice little touches. Great highlights. And there was plenty going on, wasn't there? He took a big heavy hit.
He knocked a chunk off the thing.
I think he did. And look at this. This is the closer all the way down the hill. And I thought he wasn't going to do it. And then when the Camaro turned in, and look how tightly he does it, he gets a really good tight turn. I thought he's got this, but look at that. That's as close as you want.